Ain't no river wide enough, baby. Whew. Tell you what, good cup of joe. Good cup of joe. First of all, welcome. Thank you for tuning in to Rob Peary here at Cedar Road of Coffee. You're probably here because you want to learn how to become a coffee roaster. Now, this is going to be geared more towards the person who doesn't have a whole lot of experience with it. You probably don't have a roaster yet. This information will be super valuable for you, and it'll save you a bunch of time. This is kind of for hobbyists, and if you want to start your business with it someday, it's kind of all the basics of it. This covers the bedrock, if that makes any sense. Probably doesn't, but anyway. Well, let's just roll into it. So you've had this idea of roasting coffee, and you're like, okay, well, like, where do I start? Well, one, always start with educating yourself. That way you don't go out there and buy a bunch of stupid stuff and waste a bunch of money. First of all, there's a few books. One, if you're getting into coffee roasting, I would highly recommend The Coffee Roaster's Companion by Scott Rayo. Great dude. He has a YouTube channel, a blog, all this other stuff. There's also this book, World Atlas of Coffee by James Hoffmann. He's also has a YouTube channel, very successful. I think his company's called Royal Mile or something like that. So I would definitely check him out as well. And I'll link all this stuff at the bottom too. So the books, the blogs, the websites, the social medias, the whatever else we get into. For social media, they have a Facebook group called the Coffee Roasters Forum. Great for beginner coffee roasters. There's a ton of experienced dudes in there just giving all the info you need. You can search in a little box if you're looking for a specific roaster, specific beans, specific origin, and all that stuff, and it's there. It's somewhere in there. Just got to scrub through and find it. There's some really good YouTube channels that have some really good coffee roasters on there. The Real Chris Baca, that's a great channel. What I like about the Real Chris Baca is basically like he's running a small coffee roastery and a cafe. He goes through all his like process, literally from the very beginning to getting the store set up to where he's at now with the whole COVID crisis and being shut down. And yeah, definitely check him out. Super cool dude. You'll learn a lot from him. Mill City Coffee Roasters has a YouTube channel where it's probably 20 or something videos where they go through the whole course of roasting coffee. Yeah, Joe Morocco, Mill City Coffee Roasters, that YouTube series is a bomb. You will learn a lot. Watch it like 3 or 4, 5, 6 times in a row, and you'll basically have a very, very good understanding of what coffee roasting basically is. With that said, I would say watch it once or twice all the way through, buy a roaster, roast 100 batches, and then watch it once or twice all the way through again, and then move on to Scott Rayo. It's free. Like, how in the heck is that free? The amount of detail they put in to those videos, and it's not just like some short videos, it's like 40-minute to an hour long videos. Go check that out. So now you're all educated. You got your books, you got your YouTube, you done just binged hours and hours of YouTube. You done went through the social medias, befriended all these people, followed them and all that, you know. What I like to say about the education portion of anything is educate yourself enough to know that you're making a good decision on what you're about to purchase, but don't get so focused on education that you prolong the act of actually experiencing and doing, because that's where you're going to learn. Second, just buy a coffee roaster. There's cheap ones online. I bought this little KALDI roaster. It's like, I think maybe 199 bucks. It was like right at 200. I outfitted a little motor on there so I didn't have to hand crank it. I put some different thermocouples on there because this one's in Celsius and I'm American and you know we don't do that. So yeah, get a little $200 coffee roaster. You can roast in a cast iron skillet. They got a beamer, they got a hot top. I'll link all those below too. If you want to get a Mill City 2 kilogram, 1 kilogram, there's all kind of roasters to kind of look at. The only way to really get good at roasting is to just roast. I mean, you can read about it all day long, but until that little flame lights up and you start turning some beans, that's when you're gonna learn. And document every roast you do. If you don't have the money for artisan and computer setup and all that, you may not have a computer with it. I did a notebook for a long time. A small coffee roaster will literally just allow you to cut your teeth, get the basic knowledge of coffee roasting. Will this little roaster here be consistent as a Loring or Probat or something like that? Heck no. A little wind comes by and blows that flame, like it's all over the place. You're still getting the effect and you're still getting the basic knowledge of like what it's like whenever you hear that first crack, what you got to do with your gas. All right, so you're educated. you have a little roaster, Beamer, KALDI, something cheap. Now you need to find some green beans. So where do you buy your green coffee? I get that question a lot. In the beginning, I think I ordered off of Amazon. I mean, there's green coffee on Amazon. I don't know if it's the best green coffee. In fact, it wasn't the best green coffee, but personally I would recommend Sweet Maria's. Sweet Maria's is a resource hub. Dude, look, let me tell y'all something. If you're new to coffee roasting, just literally right now, go to Sweet Maria's. They have a ton of information on that site. They actually sell little roasters and stuff for home roasters. They sell literally, I think, some of the best coffee that you can get quality wise. The coffee's so clean, you don't have too many flaws or defects in their coffee. It's pretty good. If you're getting into coffee roasting and you want to find some green coffee, Sweet Maria's. I think you can get it in a pound, 2 pound, 5 pound, and maybe up to 20 pounds. Once you get bigger and maybe you start a little business, or there's also Cafe Imports, there's Coffee Shrub, which is the wholesaler portion of Sweet Maria's. There's Royal, there's Genuine Origin, and a bunch of other importers. Now, the cool part is on Facebook, and probably some other platforms too, you can actually reach out to, farmers. There's farmers on Instagram and Facebook that actually, once you kind of get yourself out there, will start reaching out to you, or you can reach out to them. There's a great coffee farmer down in Honduras, and his name is Ashley. And I mean, he's always posting like, what are they doing? Like they're planting, trees, they're planting like the shade trees, they're bagging coffee, they're bringing coffee to the market. It's super cool to see his process. You can buy from people like Ashley straight direct from his farm. I think the last time he quoted me was like $5 a pound, and I think that includes shipping and everything. So it's really not that bad. There's a bunch of direct farmers out there that are on Facebook, that are on Instagram, that you can find and basically order straight from them if you want. Prices is going to range, so don't forget direct buy. There's always that option. Definitely check that out. So you got your coffee, you got a roaster, you got educated. Next thing to do is just the experiment and learn phase. Burn through some beans. Buy different brewing devices. Get you a little AeroPress. They got the French press. Get you a Chemex. They got the Melitas. They got the V60s. Like, try to get a good little range of products. That way you can test your coffee that you're roasting on different products. Basically what that's going to do is eventually, if you do go into business or something like that, it's going to be able to help you understand what your customers are roasting with. Make sure you got a good grinder and you grind it at home. They got cheap grinders. They got the Commodore, which is some crazy expensive one. I don't have the money for that one yet. You got your industrial grinders, which you can go and buy. It's up to you. How serious do you want to take it? It's also good to dive deeper into like the theory behind what's going on, because at that point you may have 50 to 100 roasts under your belt and you're like, okay, I kind of get the idea of it now, like Maillard process, the phases, the yellows, when it's turning, and all that you need to just dive deeper into. Go to Scott Rayo's blog. He gets over my head real quick. You can sign up for courses. I should have mentioned this in the beginning. Actually, this is the key, is the SCA. So go to the SCA, the Specialty Coffee Association, and they have a ton of information there. It's literally like the rules. They got your cupping rules, they got like water specs, like what type of water you should be brewing with. I mean, there's all kind of things on there. They also have some memberships where you can sign up, become a SCA member. I think there's like a private membership and then also a business membership, depending on if you're a hobbyist or a business. So the SCA, they also provide courses. Mill City Roasters offers some courses. There's a bunch of coffee roasting courses out there you can take, but then there's also some other courses you may want to take as well, maybe like a cupping class or something. I know a lot of local roasters will have like a little cupping kind of example that they'll do, so hit your local roaster up, see if they'll let you kind of come by and maybe cup with them. So you educated yourself, you bought a roaster, you got some green coffee, you burned through like 50 to 100 batches of it, you dove deep into the science of it, you're thinking you know what you're doing, and at this point you're like, am I a hobbyist or do I want to go the business route? If you go the business route, these are the few things I would suggest. Check out your local cottage food laws in your state. They're different in like every state. In Louisiana, I'm not covered. I know in California, I think they are, and a bunch of other states, I think they are, but for some reason, Louisiana, you can't. So make sure you check that before you just you know, start going and doing. If you don't fall under the cottage food law, you can see if there's a commercial kitchen around that'll let you also roast in their kitchen possibly. There's some incubators. I know some of the colleges have incubators, and there's some other little organizations that have incubators that'll basically let you go and like bake goods there, roast coffee, whatever you need to do, start your little business. Check out the food labeling laws, know where you got to put stuff on the bag, like the ounces, the grams, all that, where it needs to be, the font size. Go to the FDA, figure out your labeling, figure out your packaging. In Louisiana, I know you got to have everything licensed under each product. Talk to your health department and just literally try to wade through the weeds of that. Good luck. And really, with that being said, I think that's about it. I really feel if you hit up the Coffee Roasters forum on Facebook, you read through Scott Rayo's blog, you watch some James Hoffmann and Chris Baca's videos, the real Chris Baca, I think you're going to be well on your way to becoming a successful coffee roaster. Again, a lot of this stuff I'm going to link down below. I'm going to link the social media pages I talked about, the people that I talked about. I'm going to link the green coffee buying locations below. I'm going to link some roasters below. Like the only one I've really had is the KALDI roaster and my Badelli roaster. My Badelli roaster is 2 kilograms from China. Next video, I'm going to do a little video on roasting on the KALDI roaster. Super easy, and you really don't need a whole lot to roast on it. It's like a Coleman stove, some type of heat source, and 200 grams of green coffee. Week after that, we're gonna do one on cupping finally. That's actually coming. I'm doing that one. I'm probably gonna shoot this weekend or during the week. Super stoked. If y'all have any questions, hit me up in the comments. I'm literally always down there. I answer every question. If it's something too hard, I'll make it up. If it's something I can research, I'll research it for you. And if it's something that's stupid or, you know, mean or hostile, I'll reply back with the same amount of enthusiasm. I am no expert. I don't even claim to be an expert. I'm nowhere near what Scott Rayo or James Hoffmann or the real Chris Baca or any of those people are. They're way beyond me. Joe Morocco, all them, way beyond me. You need to go get your knowledge from them. I'm just showing you different avenues to go down to actually get it and funneling you to the sources that actually have it. I've done my job. Anyway, like I said, like, comment, subscribe. Love y'all. Peace out. And fun fact, I was on Scott Rayo's Instagram here a while back, probably about a year ago. And I was asking him some questions, you know, and he got a little feisty with me, and I was like, so I fired a few things back, you know, just being a little on the defense, and he DM'd me, and I was like, damn, Scott's DMing me, you know. Basically, he said everything straight and super cool dude, and I was like, man, whatever beef we just had, you wanted me back. Shit, bye, knock the damn house down. Y'all need something, holla at me. Need something? Comment. Love y'all. Let me make sure that's correct, because I'm an idiot. Come on, Bob.